Hi, my name is Cody Miller, and this is the Heidi Roizen oral case study. So question 1 asks us, what are the strengths of Heidi's network across the different stages of her career? One point I want to make is that from the very beginning, Heidi was able to utilize her connections and tap into her network to get her first job at Tandem. Basically, she reached out to a close personal friend who happened to know the hiring manager there. And this was the first evidence of Heidi's ability to tap into networks and make the most of opportunities with what she had, albeit a small network at the time, but just kind of the cornerstone for her career going forward. So Heidi has a genuine passion for meeting smart and interesting people rather than just powerful people. This is what motivates her. This is what drives her. And throughout her career, we see a pattern of her making the most of opportunities. As editor of the monthly newsletter at Tandem, she is afforded the opportunity to sit down with top management at the monthly meetings. She embraces this opportunity to demonstrate her performance and consistency to deliver on promises and to also build her reputation with the company, ultimately leading her to be able to reach out to the CEO for a letter of recommendation when she ultimately decides to leave the company to pursue her graduate degree. So Heidi effectively uses every opportunity to make the most of connections to increase her network. When meeting new people, she not only recognizes their current situations, but she also invests her time to get to know them personally, because what this allows her to do is to understand the future potential of these individuals. As she stated, you never know where people will be in the future. And that was important for her to maintain that relationship by building that connection initially. This behavior was evident throughout her career, and we see it especially when she worked for SoftBank. She would respond to every business plan received, even though she rejected spending upwards of 2 hours a day responding to these individuals, because it was that important to her to establish that connection. For Heidi, it was about access, performance, and consistency. As a nuclei in her own network, and by maintaining strong ties with nuclei in other networks, she was able to broaden her access to several individuals. She believed in doing what you say and doing so on a consistent basis. This established trust within her network and allowed the maintenance of her network to become more efficient and less time consuming, something that became very significant as her network expanded over the years. So question 2 asks us to use the concepts discussed in the readings in Module 5 to discuss the extent to which these concepts apply to Heidi in regards to influencer power and network success. Well, as we know, success is increasingly dependent on how we interact with others. And this is becoming more and more popular, and it's kind of becoming the philosophy of business today. And for Heidi, it's no exception. Heidi Roizen, by definition, is a giver. She consistently demonstrates her willingness to engage with individuals and forge relationships, because that's what motivates her. One could argue it's because she expects something in return, but I don't necessarily believe that. What I believe is that she understands the principles of reciprocity. Give what you want to receive. This confers a first mover advantage, something that Heidi is very good at. She models the behaviors she wants to see from others. That by giving her time and doing so in a genuine, heartfelt manner, that may lead to dividends down the road, something we see evident throughout her career. However, I want to make it clear that this is not what motivates her. Just an advantage or consequence is acting accordingly. From our readings, we see that givers end up more successful by building better reputations and more useful networks, something Heidi was able to do. Givers give you an advantage because you can predict who's going to be helpful to you in the future. This means some people are undervalued by takers and matchers in the present. If you help these people, they will be grateful. As we see with givers, they tend to see potential in all people, or diamonds in the rough, if you will, something Heidi believed in deeply. Givers have major advantages in reconnecting. They have a history of helping you, so you feel happy when they reach out to you. Evident by Heidi's ability to reach out to individuals she hadn't spoken to in years, but still had confidence to do so by the strong foundation she laid in the previous years. So speaking on persuasion, one point I'd like to emphasize was Heidi's time with Apple and their decision to post a full page ad in the Wall Street Journal. This ad showed news clippings from numerous software CEOs whom Heidi had reached an agreement to stay with the company. This is a principle of social proof. People follow the lead of similar others. This was a form of social evidence used to influence others on whether or not to get on board. But not just social evidence, it's also a form of the principles of authority. People defer to experts, and that ad was just that, a full-page indication of expertise. Heidi's business was networking, and at the end of the day, being a giver is a good thing. Not just personally, but there's research that shows that the most successful networkers and the most successful people are givers. In essence, you're building up human capital in the capital bank, not necessarily knowing how you're going to spend it. And that's what Heidi did, and that was her career. Thank you.